today, here and online, on this blustery morning. So if you would please relax into your seats. Close your eyes or soften your gaze. This is thank you to Reverend Tracy for her inspiration on this meditation. Know that there is an underlying love, calm, perfection within. Now let your thoughts move from your mind, from your knowing, to your heart. Find where your karmic seed is planted. Go within. Take a moment to settle into that place. Know that you are love. Repeat to yourself, I am. I am love. I am peace. I am contentment. I am love. Let's contemplate this quote by Ernest Holmes, our founder. Love is at the center of our being. Is that your karmic seed? He continues, the calm, continuous pulsations of life are governed by love. I'm going to read this one more time and then we'll contemplate. Love is at the center of our being. The calm, continuous pulsations of life are governed by love. What seed are you planting? Goethe said, "A man sees in the world what he carries in his heart." See love. Carry love. As you move into this week, I know for you, peace, grace, and love. Namaste.
Welcome to CSL Prescott. For those of you who are here and those of you who are online. As you are aware, Thanksgiving Day is this Thursday, and hopefully if you are attending, you have signed up on the list in Sibley Hall, and dinner will be served between 1 and 3 p.m. However, at 11, please come and attend. Have breakfast if you choose. All kinds of delicious little breakfast things will be served, and the parade will be on TV at 11, and so please come and enjoy that before dinner. Next Sunday is the Taizé service, and we look forward to having it and celebrating before Christmas a holiday spirit of prayer, meditation, and song. There are only 3 weeks left for the food drive, so please be generous and donate. Thank you to those who have already donated. Please note that the board will meet on Monday, December the 11th at 6 p.m., different than usual due to the holidays. And congratulations to all the newly elected board members, as well as those who chose to be re-elected, and thank the entire board for all that you do. On December the 16th, which is a Saturday, we're having that holiday festival with music. Juliet will be our guest singer. Food, drink, and lots of holiday fun, so please join us. On November the 25th, from 10 till 12, we invite you to come and help decorate the center for the spirit of Christmas. And if you're into that, we would love to have you. The Spiritual Enrichment Circle meets Tuesday at 10 a.m. via Google Meet, as well as the Science of Mind magazine study meets at 5:30 p.m. on Google Meet. And check the Sunday program for the links that are available to both. Zen meditation begins a week from Thursday, which is Thanksgiving. So on Thursday, November the 30th, 1 to 3:30 p.m. And both drum circles will meet Nancy, what did we say?
Both the somatics class and the drum circle will meet this Wednesday, even though it's Thanksgiving Eve.
Okay.
And the drum,
Correction that we will not have somatics class.
okay, so just the drum circle will be meeting, and it will be a celebration of Thanksgiving.
Okay. I put half of that down and missed the rest of the half. Also, the somatics has a sign-up sheet, and if you wish to get all of the information that Richard gives out about somatics and Tai Chi, please sign up. It's in the lobby. Lastly, the Love and Light Circle meets the first Monday of each month from 1:30 until 3. And as always, please check your Sunday program for all the other information. And Kimberly would like your attention for a moment.
Thank you. Hi, I'm Tom Kimmerly, part of the leadership team here. As most of you know, Karen and Richard Rader. If you don't know them, they've been part of this center since its inception. They had gone back to Indiana to be with their family for the holidays, and they were involved in a car accident sometime yesterday afternoon. They're both in the hospital, and the leadership team here is knowing the highest and best outcome for both of them. If you would like to join us in prayer, please fill out a prayer card and turn it in, and their prayers will be answered. Thank you.
Good morning. I'm Sandy Kimmerly, and I'll be the practitioner of the day today. And of course, we start with prayer. So what I know is perfect spirit. There is only one. We are all part of this one. And as such, our prayers can go out, and they are seen, heard, felt by everyone. And this is what peace is. So we can bring this peace, this sense of love and joy and building of the bond between us. And so whether we are having something going on in our lives or know someone who is, we can know the good. We can know that things are already being taken care of, that there's a good and we can use it. And so knowing this and knowing that we are here for this beautiful service today, I know that every part of it will be beautiful and come out without a hitch, and everyone will get what they need. And so together we secure this with
Good morning. Good morning.
So we're Jackson today, as you can
Yeah.
tell. He's
We're
l-
tall and thin.
lounging on a beach, gallivanting with the geckos right now.
Well, no, I
in
think it's
Key West.
iguanas.
Oh,
Yeah, he sent a photo. Truly.
Key West, Florida.
Yep. Lucky Jackson. Well, we're lucky to be here.
So now I know you folks know this song fairly well since you've
You
just lived it
rehearsed.
the last few weeks.
Yes.
So we feel because of Thanksgiving being next week, we are all so in the space of gratitude of our lives. And we had just had the incredible experience of hanging out with Karen Drucker for a little while, some of us, who was a pretty cool person. We thought we would keep that
She's
spirit
amazing.
flowing and have us all start off today's session with a little gratitude.
And I also saw when I got the lyrics to this that that she has on her site that it was based on a Navajo poem, "In Beauty May I Walk," and I love that. I just So gratitude. You guys ready? And we get to work out to this one. Gratitude before me, gratitude behind me, gratitude to the left of me, gratitude to the right of me, gratitude above me, gratitude below me, gratitude within me, gratitude all around me. I'm so grateful. 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 Gratitude before me, gratitude behind me, gratitude to the left of me, gratitude to the right of me, gratitude above me, and gratitude below me, gratitude within me, gratitude all around me. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. Yeah, I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. Gratitude behind me to the past. Gratitude that I left of me. Gratitude to the right of me. Gratitude above me. Gratitude below me. Gratitude within me. Gratitude all around me. I'm so grateful. Sing it out. I'm so grateful. 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 And thank you all.
Good morning. My name is John Haas, and I'm one of the licensed professional practitioners here, and it's my privilege to be the service coordinator, or service leader as sometimes called, here this morning. And whether you're in the sanctuary or at some other space and time from online, you are welcome here. And today, we're grateful for the ability to come together in community. We're grateful to be together and to know the truth. Because the truth is that there's only one power, one presence, and we can send that love and light out into the world, because here we teach spiritual tools that help us live a better life. And as we live a better life, as we heal, as we prosper, then everyone that we touch, including those that we don't even know, are touched by us, by our energy, by our light. And this is powerful. And we bring that here today on a special day where we need the community more than ever. So we know it's true. So one of the things that we do here as practitioners is we pray. As we saw Sandy give us our prayer at the beginning, we meditate. She gave the pre-service meditation. And we're available if you want to get a 3-minute miracle after service. Come up and we'll pray with you. Or you can put a prayer request on the form in the back of the seat in front of you, and we will pray with you on that for this whole week. So be sure to put that in. And the names of the practitioners are available along with their phone numbers, so you can get one-on-one prayer with any one of the practitioners. So be sure to take advantage of that. Now, as practitioners, we also like to notice that there are many ways to be able to join in and see that the world is one and yet many. So if we can come up, we'll do the candle lighting service. Because the Center for Spiritual Living honors all faith traditions. As we light a candle for the world's religions, it is to acknowledge both our multiplicity and our unity.
We light a candle for Christianity based on the teachings of Jesus the Christ, who taught the path of love, forgiveness, and healing by the presence within.
For Islam, the practice of submitting to the will of God as revealed to his prophets, peace be upon them, who taught that there is one God, creator of the heavens and the earth.
For Judaism, a community of shared laws, traditions, and family ties, which began with the covenant between Abraham and God.
For Buddhism, the middle path that ends suffering and awakens mindfulness and compassion.
For Hinduism, the path of knowledge, action, and devotion.
For all the Native American traditions and those who walk the Good Red Road, including the people of the sun, better known as the Yavapai.
For Baha'i, the path of unity and peace.
For all the goddess traditions, embracing the divine feminine in each of us as maiden, mother, and crone, or wisdom keeper.
and for the science of mind, which is the philosophy of life that teaches there is a power for good in the universe, and we can use it.
Thank you. And so we can add our own voice to that by saying, we are here for God. Our purpose is to express the nature of God as love, abundance, and joy in everything we do. The good we seek for ourselves is what we desire for all people everywhere.
So this next song is this beautiful Kate Wolf song that we've done a whole lot, and so I'm hoping that you can sing along with us. And this is Give Yourself to Love. We have a lot of love and a lot of giving here, and I really want to give my heartfelt blessings to the Raiders. I just love. So, give yourself to love. Kind friends all gather round. There's something I would say. What brings us together here has blessed us all today. Love has made a circle, and it holds us all inside. Strangers are as family, and loneliness can't hide. So give yourself to love, if love is what you're after. Open up your heart to the tears and the laughter, and give yourself to love. Give yourself to love. I've walked these mountains in the rain. I've learned to love the wind. Been up before the sunrise to watch the day begin. Always knew I'd find you, though I never did know how. Like sunshine on a cloudy day, you stand before me now. So give yourself to love, if love is what you're after. Open up your heart to the tears and the laughter, and give yourself to love. Give yourself to love. Well, love is born in fire and planted like a seed. Love can't bring you everything, but it gives you what you need. Love comes when you're ready. Love comes when you're afraid. It will be your greatest teacher, the best friend you've ever made. So give yourself to love, if love is what you're after. Open up your heart to the tears and the laughter, and give yourself to love. Give yourself to love. Oh yes, give yourself to love, if love is what you're after. Open up
give yourself to love. What does it feel like to let go of judgments, attachments, reactions, and resistance and give yourself to love? It feels like a big, spacious sky which could never be disturbed by the clouds that come and go. When we learn to accept what is instead of labeling, pushing, denying, or resisting, we aren't caught up in the rantings of the ego, and we go with the flow of life. We are enlightened, always have been, always will be, and we remember to accept what is. Right now, in the present moment, then we turn within and allow ourselves to be guided from that place of peace and power to find solutions, healing, or answers to the situations in our life.
Good morning. Thank you for that beautiful talk and for you holding that in your consciousness. It's a beautiful Sunday. It's a sacred Sunday. And I know that we've had some news today, and a talk is important, but you are more important. So we are holding, the leadership is holding the community and the Raiders close to our heart, high up in the mental equivalent of wholeness and healing, and we're only seeing them and knowing that anyone around them is divinely appointed. So I just want you to know that although giving a talk on a Sunday morning is what we're going to do, because it's what Spirit brought us here to do, but I do want you to know that we honor you, we love you, and we hold you in that light. So thank you, and welcome to Happy Sacred Sunday with CSL Prescott. And I do have a joke, if that's all right with everyone. And the mom saga continues. We'll talk a little bit about that. But here's the joke. A boy was watching his father, a pastor, write a sermon. He said, "How do you know what to say?" asked the little boy. "Well," the father said, "God tells me." "Oh, well then why do you keep crossing it all out?" And this is kind of what we're moving into today. And this minister is very happy that this season of sacred, mundane, sacred, and now the profane is wrapping up. Because they are things to research and talk about, and I don't mind it, but it's kind of like the same thing over and over. And so I started to realize as I was writing the talk, I go, we talked about, and embracing the divine is surrendering to everyday transcendence, which is kind of what Sandy talked about today. How do we live that life? We talked a lot about it in the previous Sundays. With mundane, it's kind of like how our minds get bored with our life and work, and then with the sacred, how we all desire to have that intimate connection. And I know I went through my phases, Muji, Sadhguru, I don't know, Spiro, like all of these different teachers, and I really thought where it was at was sitting in a cave and connecting to the higher divine, and that would answer all my problems. It didn't. Because life, as it always does, is moving and flowing and ever being. So what I did today was I took some time to put the points of the talk up here. One, maybe it'll help me slow down a little bit. And because I get excited. Can y'all tell that I get excited when I do a talk? But also I wanted you to be able to follow along as I kind of talk about them. So what I really wanted you to know in the opening is, as we navigate the dance between the imperfections and the divine moments in our everyday life, we embrace the beauty of the dual nature of life. In surrendering to the reality of our existence, we embark on a sacred journey of self-discovery. finding profound connections within the divine and the simplicity of each moment. So what we know is life happens and things happen, and the attitude, the mental attitude that we bring to those things happening determines our reality. So, being, the profane was I looked it up, I contemplated it, I pondered it, and I didn't really want to talk about it, to be honest with you. Probably because it hit a little bit home. But what I really want to talk about it right now is the profane as a reflection of our human frailty. We have these bodies, we know we all get here the same way and we're all leaving the same way. But what happens in between is really dependent on what you have experienced in your life. How you see the world and the mental attitude you bring to it is dependent on who touched your life. Your parents, your teachers, your friends, your neighbors. And some of us have had relatively easy journeys, and we sit and stay in a lot of bliss. And some of us have had very difficult journeys as our mind describes them and as we experience them. We know that life can be difficult. We know that some things are much more painful, and we know that those things can sometimes turn us into, depending on the experience, it can really give us a negative mental attitude towards life. And so what happens is, one day we wake up and we're like, man, this is just, I'm just done. I just want off the hamster wheel. I want off the race. I want to really begin to know myself. But it doesn't always happen like I'm describing it. Usually it arises as a feeling of discontent, or maybe our objective reality isn't quite going the way we want it to go. Maybe we've lost a job. Maybe we've lost a loved one. Maybe we've lost our house, money, finances, which is fine, because these are the things that Spirit uses to turn us to our onward journey home. So in our daily lives, we often encounter the profane, elements that are vulgar, crude, or disrespectful. The facets of existence mirrors the inherent flaws and imperfections within our human nature. Profanity can manifest itself in our language, in our actions, our thoughts, and they serve as a reminder of our earthly limitations and the struggles we face in navigating the complexity of lives, in our lives, the complexities of life. In our daily lives, we encounter these imperfections. I know I do. I'm a bit of a perfectionist in an imperfect world, which makes the journey a little bit even more difficult, right? So I, because of the traumas that I experience, the way my mind works, and what I was really utilized for in the banking world was to go in, turn it around, get it running, and get out. But that became a very in tune thing for me because of my traumas. When I would walk into a room, I needed to know where I was safe. And so I began to be able very quickly over a period of time to get to know you and recognize this until I was much older, that this is a defense mechanism, that even that too needs to fall away. But when you're living that, you don't really know that is your perspective about life until someone, a mental equivalent to your thought process, shows up to help you see it. And I know for me, that created a lot of success, but also a lot of difficulty. So for me, I needed to begin to see God in my everyday life, recognizing the divine within. And that's what our philosophy is so amazing at. That's how you find yourself here. Maybe a friend drug you, and we kind of make the joke, right? Does someone bring you? Does someone drag you? But however you got here, you said yes to Spirit, and Spirit used your life to bring you through the door so that you could start to look at the things that connect you to the difficulties of your life. My teacher, Reverend Sherrill, one of my mentors, very profound science of mind teacher, and I said, but how do I start to learn what my beliefs are? How do I start to see the negative aspects? Because for me, what brought me to science of mind was I thought I was broken. I thought I needed to be fixed. I thought that everybody else was right about me and that I was problematic, and that if I could just figure out how not to be problematic, that I would be loved. It was very painful. But what I soon found out was that's not true. It's not true. It's a lie that our mind tells us, but Spirit used it to my advantage because it brought me through the doors for healing, and it brought you through the doors. And so what I'm saying is there's no brokenness. There's only attachment to what we have, what we want, what we desire. And those are all fine. Desiring things is part of human nature. But what I read this recently, that attachment is merely what you are putting your attention on and where it stays. And I thought to myself, well, we give all of our attention to our objective world. We give our attention to the car that we want and the parking lot that we want and the house that we want. And what we're talking about here is giving attention to the self, beyond the ideas, beyond the beliefs, direct experience of the self, the highest truth within you will reveal itself. You know, when you're speaking from that place, you pause more. Your cadence changes. You are relatable. So we start to let the profane drop. We start to notice the profane in our everyday life, and it kind of starts to drive us a little bit crazy because we start to question ourselves a lot. And those questionings are supposed to drive us back in to sit in meditation, which, again, meditation is a fine tool. The teachings that we offer here, fine tools. But they are ultimately there to give you a way to find your way back home, much like the prodigal son. The prodigal son wanted to go out into the world. He wanted to go disco dancing and, right? And he wanted a girlfriend, he wanted a wife, he wanted to gamble, he wanted to have fun, he wanted to have a drink. And the father said, fine, go. Go and experience that. And at the end, what he realized was, it is an ever-ending hamster wheel. There's always a desire, there's always a loss, there's always an attachment, and because the objective world is created from our own each of our own mental equivalents, we are creating our own reality. That's why we all see the world differently. But when we get back connected to the higher self and we see the world, we start to understand from a higher level that God is in everyday life. So the flip side says that every moment presents us with an opportunity to recognize the divine in the ordinary. God is not confined to the sacred spaces of worship. Rather, the divine is interwoven into the fabrics of our daily existence. By embracing this perspective, we can find spiritual significance in the seemingly mundane aspects of our life, fostering a deeper connection to the divine in our day-to-day experience. You know, I talked a little bit about going to work and wanting to do my work as God did it, and this is what the personality does, but you can start to see the change in tide in you when compassion wells up within you, then you immediately have it for the other. But what you have for yourself, you will often see in the reflection of your everyday life. And if you don't like what you see, guess what? You get to change it. You created what you have now, and that's how powerful you are. That's what love does. The essence and the energy of your true self, your highest self, is what we call love. We've come up with a name that, ineffable. Sabrina and I were talking about ineffable, and I'm like, oh, can you remind me of that definition? And this is really what we're talking about here, the thing we cannot name, although we love our words, right? I wouldn't have a job here if we didn't use words. So we love our words. We love the connection. We know it when we feel it. Have you ever had that divine sacred moment where the hairs on your arm stood up and you're like, ooh, what was that? It feels like an electricity running through you. It was an encounter with the divine, which is yourself. And it is, have you ever tried to explain that to someone else? It's kind of crazy, right? You're so, I mean, had these moments and I'm like, ooh, I can't wait to tell everybody. And it runs through my mind. And in my mind, it sounds so great. Like I have this whole talk planned out. I'm going to sit with my friend. And as soon as I start trying to talk about it, there's not a word that I can find that describes the equivalence of a connection to yourself where you absolutely know everything is okay. Because you know what happens is we have this moment and we connect to it and we try to explain it. And as soon as we try to explain it, it's like sharing your pearls with swine. You're trying to explain it so they can understand it. And maybe their consciousness isn't ready for it yet. So they have lots of questions. And then those questions make you go, well, did I really have that experience? Then logic comes in. Logic enters into the conversation, and then the mind enters into the conversation, and then it's distorted, and we're back to the profane where we're like really not sure. But when we have these moments, I distinctly remember Muji saying, when you have the moment, talk to no one. Talk and share with no one. Marinate in it. Allow it to take you. Allow it to disassemble your personality. Allow it to remove what needs to be removed so that you can emerge in the singularity from a world of duality. And, you know, I didn't take that advice. No, I went to church and I would try to explain to everybody, do you know who Muji is? Ooh, I had this epiphany. I was watching him and I think, you know, and they would just look at me like, you watch Muji? Who's Muji? And I'm like, no, that's not the point. The point is the experience that I had. And I learned after a couple times, because I'm hard-headed, to go into solitude and quietude, and that I didn't need the approval of the outside world that I was creating. I needed to get in contact with that which is within myself for the conditions and the concepts and the ideas that I had collected over my lifetime that defined who I was, and then in turn helps me define who other people are. I started to realize I wanted that to fall away. And something amazing happens. We get a contrasting perspective in everyday life when that happens. The contrast between the profane and the divine serves as a dynamic interplay, highlighting the dual nature of human experience. While profanity reflects our earthly struggles, everyday divinity offers a pathway to transcend these struggles and connect with our higher self. It is through the consciousness, through conscious choice, to surrender to the realities of life that we can navigate the dichotomy. So once we realize what we give our attention to, which takes some self-awareness and introspection, that's what our classes help you with. That's what our practitioners help you with. They give you the ability to start to look at yourself without shame, without blame, without guilt. Although I will tell you it does arise because most of us are raised with that. And the other thing it gives you, as we talked a little bit about this, is that you start to see who you are. If you have a negative connotation about yourself, who you are is not your fault. It's just who you became by what you saw, what you did, what people told you. And most of us, as I learned this from my little man Luke running around, I am learning boundaries. I wasn't raised with any. So, you know, here's my thing. Luke, get off the couch. Luke, get off the couch. Luke, get off the couch. And I make your toddler get off the couch. And what I discovered was boundaries require nothing of you, little Luke. I am going to take you off the couch. And then when I take you off the couch, I will turn the TV on for you, which is totally different than we walk around trying to get everyone to do everything that we need to make us happy, right? And when they don't do it, we get kind of profane. We get a little irked, right? We go through the drive-through and we have these young people running the drive-throughs, which I have begun to see have a deeper appreciation. tolerance. I have a better tolerance for when I ask for unsweetened tea and I get to there and I have a sweetened tea, and then the profane part of myself goes, come on, do you know the difference between unsweetened and sweetened, right? And so you see these kids trying to make their way, and I remember when I worked at McDonald's, I didn't know how to count money. I was so afraid. It was really busy part of Avondale, and I didn't really want to work. I was so scared, and the guy just shoved me at the cash register, and I'm like, and this is the days where, you actually had cash registers, you didn't get to order on a kiosk, and I was trying to count money, and the customers were actually helping me count money because I didn't know how. It's funny that I ended up in banking. Yeah. The other day we were trying to figure out a math equation, and my husband was like, you were in banking. I had a calculator. I had a computer. It was programmed to make me look smart. But I remember just feeling so defeated, and this manager really wasn't nice, so it put in my mind that managers aren't nice. And so then I carried this mental equivalent about managers, right? And guess what I got everywhere I went? The manager that supported my idea of myself that I didn't get along with managers, that I had authority issues. So, once, and it took me a long time to see that, okay, in many jobs, but once I started to see very much later down the down the road, let me pause for a moment, down the road, I began to see that I could change the relationship with them by changing the idea I have of them in my mind. I could see them the way I want them to be because they are characters in my play. I'm creating them. And guess what? They're either going to leave or they're going to adjust to the mental equivalent. And either way, I can release them because it's not their fault. I invited them in. Unconsciously or consciously, they are there to support me. And sometimes those characters, we'd like to just give them a good kick to the moon, right? But with this, one day I started at USA like 9 years ago, and the first managers I had adopted to my old mental equivalent. And then as I studied with my teacher, he didn't say, change your mental equivalent. He would ask me questions like, why do you need their approval? Well, what do you mean, why do I need their approval? Because I want to know I'm doing a good job. He's like, can't you tell yourself that? So then I started, right? He would give me these ideas to mull and contemplate for a week. And then I would go to work and I would apply them and something would change. And so it wasn't like you can head on the ego, like you just can't go to the ego and give it these ideas because it'll distort it, it'll come up with a new way that wasn't even talked about. Have you ever talked to someone and they ever have a problem and you've shared these deep insights and you see them next time and they're like, but you said, and you're like, did I say that? Like, I didn't say that. Because what the mind does is it distorts things. So going back to McDonald's, the manager was like, you can't count money. I'm like, no kidding. Cannot count money. So he put me on the ketchup machine. Now, this is a big, giant metal funnel, and you have these big things of ketchup, and you have to dump the bag in there. And that's when McDonald's wore those beautiful brown polyester with the yellow. And so I'm picking this bag up at 16, and I'm dropping it in there, and the bag catches the corner. And we had a ketchup explosion. And I was covered with ketchup. And I'm like, I'm covered with ketchup. I want to go home and change. And he was like, no, you can't go home. And I'm like, well, I'm like, yes, I can. I'm not in jail. I'm at McDonald's. But I was so afraid of him. And I stayed that whole day working with ketchup stuck to me in brown polyester. And these little moments of my life as I was reflecting on them on the drive up here, once made me cry, now makes me laugh. Because it formulated who I am. It created this beautiful personality called Tracy, and it also helped me to navigate life. And I realized that part of navigating life is the positive and the negative. It is the grumpy and the joy. It is the bliss and the sorrow, and that none of them give us permission to beat ourselves up. None of them give us permission to go out and give anyone else a hard time. If anything, when we become self-aware, compassion grows and we lose answers for people, right? We're not the answer for anybody. I hate to break it to you. You're not the answer for anybody, no matter how much you think you got it. You are not. But when you are in your higher self, a divine and tuned inspiration might arise, and it is always heard when it comes from that space and not the space of ego. And we have made an enemy out of our ego, but the ego serves a fine purpose. It serves a beautiful purpose to navigate through life, to go to parties and communities and get together and have fun. It's the refinement of the ego that we're working on. And with that refinement comes a falling away and a merging of the two. And what blossoms is the lilies that we talked about last week. That the lilies, they be, right? And my intellectual mind, like I said, was like, but I'm not a lily, I have a mouth. But what happens is when we be, this runs a lot less. When we be, this starts to happen more. We start to hear. When we be, the heart opens and the answers that are already in the universe emerge. And this is the beauty that life has for both the struggles and the moments of transcendence. The contrast between the challenges and the divine lights of the dual nature in our experiences. By consciously accepting and navigating life's realities, we find a balance that allows our spiritual growth. While appreciating the imperfect beauty of our human existence, the daily journey becomes a sacred path in and of its own. Self-discovery connects us with the divine. It helps us to heal or reveal the pains that were inflicted upon us. And as we feel those, our body releases them, and we feel that divine letdown, and we feel that we can look at our past and not live by it, but just let it go. And that because what's happening now is never something that happened to you. Because if you notice thoughts, they're always about a past. We talked about this, right? That thoughts arise, they come, they go. But what we start to notice is every time we get caught in a movie, I was sitting, my husband's favorite thing that I do, on my phone, and I'm trolling through spiritual videos, because that's where I get all my spiritual advice, from Instagram. And Luke was going, Nana, 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 Nana. And so my husband waited for him to say it about 4 times, and he goes, Tracy. And I go, oh, what? And he goes, what was happening was I was scrolling, but my attention was on the scrolling, on the information. But as I was reading the information, an old story would kick in. And then immediately I'm with that person in that time, in that place, trying to have a different conversation about the same thing that happened 20 years ago. Right? And there's some truth to revisiting those in a method meditation where you want to heal the past. But when you get lost in thought, it takes you out of the moment. And when I came out of the moment, I realized I was having a conversation with my daughter who wasn't even present about something that I was watching. And it totally took me out of the beingness of the moment. And this is what children remind us of. They're never lost. This is why the great teacher Jesus said, be like children, because they're always being. They don't really know what's going on. They don't, when they're having their fit, it's just because they don't feel right. They're dysregulated. Luke wanted to watch motorcycles. And I'm like, yeah, I got it. And he's flinging himself around. And I'm like, okay, show me how you really feel. And this, and what we gather as adults is this refinement. And we stuff it down, and it makes our bodies ill. And I kind of don't suggest you acting like a 2-year-old as an adult, but I do suggest kind of paying attention to what children do, because really what they want to do is feel safe. They want consistency. They want direction. And that's what we want too. When we connect to our higher selves, we don't get it from anybody else. You get it from yourself. And it feels loving, and it feels good, and I invite you in to that experience. So in closing, in the symphony of our existence, the profane and the divine dance together, each a note contributing to the melody of our lives. By acknowledging the imperfection within ourselves and the world, we embrace the divine in the ordinary, and we surrender to the intricate realities we face. We unlock the door to our higher self. In this transformative journey, we discover that our everyday awakening is not merely a routine, but a sacred opportunity to live authentically. It harmonizes our earthly experience, and in divine and beautiful tapestry of our existence, of our lives, it unfolds and we begin to have a deep appreciation for everything, the bliss that you feel from this courage to come to a place like this and take the classes and discover yourself and to see where it takes you. I can promise you from my own direct experience, it just feels amazing. It is just truly amazing, and I want this for everyone, but I had to find it for myself. So in closing, can you put the last slide up? Nina, did you disappear on me? The last slide. Oh, there we go. This is our affirmation that I really want to share with you, that you could take a picture of it, you can, but I would like to read it, and yes, embrace. Okay, I want to make sure I have the same one here because I change things a lot. I embrace the imperfect beauty of my journey. Can you say that with me? I embrace the imperfect beauty of my journey. Recognizing and growth. And amen, so it is, right? This is a beautiful affirmation, and I've shortened it to, with the help of my teacher, I have shortened this to, if you want to get in contact with yourself, the ineffable, the unknown, the beingness, it's just I. Just meditate on I. It is the thing that has nothing attached to it. Just sit with I. And the I amness is your consciousness. It is ever expanding. It is ever knowing. It is ever loving. And it will take you the full ride. And it will help you navigate. It will fill you with bliss. It will show you the way, because it is the way. Namaskaram.
We're a little off of key. You want to, we can do our, because of the timing, let's do now the offering. So we'll have the ushers come up. And then I'll have you do a song.
So I'm lost.
Yeah, I know, me too. Because of timing, if we'll do a song.
Congregation song?
The congregation song.
Okay, let's do that.
Yep. And so our dedication of the offering. Oh, because we had this song. Oh, let's do this. What's that? Okay, here we go. So together, divine love in and through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you, life. And thank you, Tom and Krista, for a song. You can do the congregational song.
Let's do the offering one. Let's do the blessing everything.
What's this? You want to go back? I don't know. We cut all my songs out. I had some really nice songs. We'll do this one. This is a nice song.
Yeah, do the song that you like.
Now, we'll do a song. This is a song that everybody can sing along with. Let me switch. This is a very simple song. The words aren't here, but it's really simple, and everybody could get it pretty quickly, I think. Yeah.
Everything, blessing everything. Open up and let your heart sing.
Don't
And feel the joy. What?
you put another song up on it.
Just go, keep singing.
This is life. Yes, we're good. We're good.
Open up and let your heart sing.
Go ahead, feel the joy it brings when you're blessing everything. Everything, blessing everything. Open up and let your heart sing. Go ahead, feel the joy it brings when we're blessing everything.
Take a walk down my street. I say hello to everyone that I meet. And the sun shines on my dancing feet. I'm just blessing everything.
Everything, blessing everything. Go ahead and let your heart sing. Go ahead, feel the joy it brings when we're blessing everything.
Come on, Sister Krista.
I wanna help, wanna make things right.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna pray with all my might.
Just tell him, baby.
Darkest days will be turned to light, 'cause we're blessing everything. Everything, blessing everything. Open up and let your heart sing. Go ahead, feel the joy it brings when we're blessing everything.
Giving thanks for our family, all the grace that we receive. Makes it easier to believe
When we're blessing everything. Everything, blessing everything.
Open up and let your heart sing.
Go ahead, feel the joy it brings when we're blessing
Everything. One more time.
everything, blessing everything. Open up and let your heart sing. Go ahead, feel the joy it brings when we're blessing every blessing, every blessing everything. Thank you all.
Thank you.
So now we bless the offering, and we know that this good work that we bring here today allows us to recognize the support we get, and it helps to support the congregation, the building, and all that surrounds us in the spiritual living. So we trust that it's going out and doing its good work in the world, affecting lives that we don't even know about yet. So bless it. So now we get to see if we have some people, new people. Yep, it's an unusual day today because we have not quite followed the service. However, I know that if you are here for the first time or you've been away and you've come back, if you would like to stand and shout and say your name and where you're from, we would love to welcome you with a gift. Anyone? Or is this a blustery? There we go. Hi, Margit from Phoenix. Welcome. So we have a slightly used book in our bookstore, so help yourself. And even if you aren't willing to stand up, anyone else? Even if you didn't stand up, you can go and get one of the gently used books to add to your collection. So now we do indeed have the Children of Awesomeness. Let's join them.
you say hello? You want to say hello? Say hi. No, we're out. Okay. Hello. What did you do today?
So today we did a thing where we like picked a poem, and it was like you write Thanksgiving or like a word, and then you put things that like you're grateful for beside it. And I put some stickers and a turkey that me and my mom drawn on it.
Well, can you share a couple things on your list?
For T, I did Tyson, my dog.
Okay.
For H, I did Happy Hugs.
Oh.
For A, I did Adopt Me on Roblox. For N, Nice People. For C, K, kicking a goal in soccer.
Ooh.
For S, sleeping in my bed. G, going to eat cheese enchiladas.
Oh. Oh, Bill will agree with you on that one.
For I love me. For V, very many friends. For I, again, it is a nice world. For N, never give up. For G, getting to spend time with my family.
Woo! Thank you so much for sharing those. That's really good. Yay! Okay. Can you say monster trucks?
Mother.
All right, here we go. Come here.
All right, and so now we can stand, and if it's comfortable, hold hands, and we'll say our blessing and sing out. Something wonderful is happening through me right now. It's happening through my mind, my body, and my affairs.
I think it, I believe it, I know it, I accept it. Thank you.